All right, let me see if this is gonna work. So I'm playing a game of Fortnite, and every time I certain colors pop up, right? It will be a like a. It's not really. I'm not sure if it's fireworks or not, but it's a very low bang that happens all the time. And I said they've been recently been doing this, so I'm gonna record. Keep this on record and see if it will pick it up. All right, so you guys hear that car honking? So what happened? I'm playing Fortnite, and you sometimes when you destroy stuff, you get certain items, right? For example, you may get bullets, which is colored in green. You might get like mechanical parts, which is colored in blue, and you have certain levels of guns, right? These are colored in like green, purple, um, blue, and gray. Okay, so what you'll see, what you hear, what I hear is that whenever I get certain items, like for example, if I get bullets, which is colored in green, they would, it would be police sirens, this bang that that I hear. Okay, I don't know if you guys just heard it right now. Okay, but this this has happened here a lot over by Pam, and also it started happening at my house. Okay, and so it's no coincidence, right, that this is happening. Particularly, you know, because I enjoy playing Fortnite. Again, it's something that I do to occupy my time. Like I recently started back reading because you see, I needed something to try to focus on. Okay, and so playing playing a game like this helps to kind of keep you focused, right? It gets you into, the more you play it and the better you become. It helps you with focus, helps you with your memory. And so when you're trying to improve, like for example, if when I'm reading, like I said, because of the remote neural monitoring, certain words that I'm reading, they would do the police sirens and stuff like that. That sometimes it becomes unbearable to where I can't even pick up a book. Not also that, but because of that, my short-term memory is like it gets really really bad. Okay, so I can't remember anything. So I play games, and one thing you should understand is that as a TI, because what they do and it affects your memory so bad and your mental state so bad that actually video games is a good um, tool to use to help you with your memory, help you with your hand-eye coordination. Also helps you with, particularly because my nerves are pretty bad at this point where I'm dropping stuff, particularly light stuff. Like if I'm holding my cane in my hand, it would just drop out of my hand. If I'm holding a something that's light, right? It would just fall out of my hand, okay? And so playing using a controller, I don't use a keyboard, um, because I just I tried, and that is a something that I guess I can never get used to and never get comfortable with doing. And so they look at everything that we do, right? As a TI, they look at everything that we do, okay? Whether it be through remote monitoring or through surveillance, using high tech surveillance equipment, hacking into our network, hacking into our phones, our tablets, even our television. I had to actually turn off the Wi-Fi on my television because they would hack into the TV, okay, and switch the inputs. Like when I get home, uh, the inputs would be on something different or what have you. Like for example, it would be like on another HDMI port that I programmed the remote to go to, right, for certain things. And again, I'm not there, and I usually have my television on just one HDMI input because I use an AV receiver, and so everything I run through the AV receiver and the television, it's just use as a display, right? I don't watch, even though my television has it's a smart TV. I don't watch apps like Netflix and such on my television because again, because of them hacking into my television. So I turned off the Wi-Fi. Now my computer, I need Wi-Fi. Um, Again, my tablet that I use, my phone, you know, that I use. Okay, but this is what they do. So they have to be constantly. You're constantly under surveillance. And for example, like I put out a video saying that I did not consent to be in this kind of experimentation and stuff like that. So then they start sending me subliminal message that if I'm not in this program, then they'll assassinate me, right? So when I started doing those videos, afterwards I will see, like if I'm going home at night, there'll be, like I showed you in the previous videos that I've done a few nights ago. On my way home, this guy standing next to his vehicle. As soon as he sees me, he pressed the remote on his vehicle so the lights would light up, you know. And then I walk to my block and there's this dude standing in the middle of the block looking at me and stuff like that. Again, using these sorts of threats, right? Which is fine because I'm not scared because again, this program is based on off of fear. It's a fear-based program because again, they want to constantly keep you under surveillance, okay? And they want to constantly keep you under experimentation, okay? Because they feel like they own you. Again, this is like we're dealing with people who have never given up the idea of enslaving people and owning someone. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You know, we get into relationships. Sometimes people we feel like we own the other person, but we don't not ownership in a way in terms of we're trying to abuse that person or trying to turn that person into a slave. We may feel that way because of that feeling that we have, and I wouldn't say it's love. I would say it's just a strong attachment, right? Because to me, when you first meet someone, that feeling that you get is not really love. Love comes way after with commitment and going through struggles, the ups and downs, and even if you didn't go through a lot of those ups and downs, you're still committed to the person, right? Meaning that when things happen, that you don't just bail on the individual, okay? That you remain committed, all right? That's where love is, and even if you decided to leave the relationship, marriage, what have you, particularly if the person haven't done you any wrong, right? Then that's not really love for that other person. That's love for yourself, yeah, because you may want to move on because you think that there's something better out there, what have you. But in most cases, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? But this ownership thing, because they feel like they own you, and if they can't control you, then they will have to destroy you, they will have to kill you and such. You know, so they're upset that I'm doing these videos and exposing what it is that they're doing because they truly have that mentality. You know, and it's sad when other groups of people participate in this, regardless of what's being said or what they're being told, because again, they may get upset at me for calling them sheeps, but that is exactly who they are. Because like I said, as TIs, we know that even if we were in TIs, they could never come to us with this, you know, to to get us to participate in doing to somebody else. And they notice. They study our personality. They profile us in many ways. Some of it is based off of what they have done to us. Okay, knowing how to manipulate us. Because again, you know, there was a recent report of the CIA basically keeping files on most Americans, right? I would say all Americans. Okay, this is a matter of fact, this is where, you know, they started the Facebook program. Except it wasn't called Facebook at all. I forgot the name of it, but there was a program where they wanted to keep a file on everyone in America, not just American citizens, but those living here legally as well as illegally. Okay, so don't think that they don't have a file on people who are living here illegally. They most certainly do. Um, yeah. So what was I? So again, this is again, like I said, they want to have this. They want to still have this mentality where they feel like they can own somebody, they can enslave someone, right? And this is not coming from black people, okay? I'll tell you that. Even though black people have adopted that mentality also, but you got to understand why, right? You got to understand why, because one thing we know is that when a person has been abused, people have been abused so much that they begin to identify with their abusers, right, with their oppressors, okay, and want to be like them, right? So as a TI, if you're not black, you need to understand that. A lot of reason why black people will target you is because again, um, they want to identify and be part of their oppressors, okay, and they want their oppressors to like them even though they never will, and to treat them with respect even though they never will. So it's a false notion, a false belief, and this is why they believe in the lies, you know, being told and the whatever or what have you. They don't ask questions, especially particularly when I talk about psychological manipulation, particularly with these technologies in which TIs can, not TIs, but everybody can be manipulated. They refuse to believe that. Why? Because of their religious belief, right? Because they really believe that God is the only one that can manipulate their mind, you know. And again, that's a foolish stance from the people who were at one point their ancestors were slave. Our ancestors were slave. Not all of them, but for those here in the United States and the Caribbean and you know, certain parts of Africa. Okay, so you gotta understand that, and this is why because you know, they want to feel like they belong in a society that doesn't want them to be a part of the society, and shows them all the time. Shows us, I should say, because I'm a black person, right? So it shows us all the time. So it's no problem for them to be standing outside targeting me, right? Because they have this belief that I'm whatever it is that's being told. Again, because again, they never look at the manipulation factor. They never look at the history of their oppressors. They never. And the thing is that's so foolish about black people. I'm sorry to say this. Is again, when you start to speak the truth, they'll call you the devil. They say, "Oh, you the devil," because they're so heavily indoctrinated with religion, right? So you have to be evil. You have to be the devil. You know, this notion of God given to them. Like you see them, you know, that they think that the reason why they're successful is because of God. No, it's not because of God. It's because the oppressors know that they know how they condition you. They know that you're not going to stand up for your people. They know that you're not going to create what needs to be done to uplift your people. Okay? Then they know how they condition you. So the fact that you think that nobody can manipulate your mind while your mind is being manipulated is, it just shows you how effective psychological conditioning is, and that it works, right? How brainwashing works, regardless of the lies that those in the government may want to tell you that it doesn't work. And the reason why they're going to tell you it doesn't work because they don't want you to believe, because they're using it against you. Okay, so you got to understand that. And this is the one thing that we fail to realize is just how deep this thing goes. And when you start to wake up, and again, when you have that self love for yourself, they don't like that. Particularly as a black person, when you show, particularly Caucasian people, that you love black people and you love yourself, they automatically going to be against you. I mean, they're against you anyway, but they automatically going to be against you to the point they're going to destroy your life, right? Because they have this false equivalency that loving yourself means hating them, and that's not the case. Okay, their case of loving themselves is hating us, right? Because they don't want us to understand our history, right? The part of our history that they've hidden, that they've lied about. How many you can go on TikTok or YouTube and you'll see all these Caucasian people saying that, that I never knew. We've been lied to. Like, I never knew about the Moors, that they basically educated Europe, right? Twice over. They're putting out videos out there that tells you this because they learned the truth. You know what I'm saying? That the Moors, black Africans teach them how to bathe, created their universities, gave them medicine, all this stuff. But yet they love to talk about Greece and what have you. But what happened after Greece? What happened after Greece? What happened after the fall of Rome? Right? Where did all that knowledge go? Where did all that knowledge go? That knowledge was restricted by the Roman Church, who became the Roman Catholic Church. It was restricted. It was hidden. Okay? While the Roman popes and priests, okay, burned a lot of the books. I mean, they destroyed so many books that, they could have been cures for cancer. They could have been cures for many ailments that we haven't even figured out today how to eradicate these things. Okay? This is what they did. This is the damage that they did. But yet, we are so invested, okay, in this religion, and it has been detrimental to the whole of humanity. And it's not just Christianity, but it's Islam also. It has been detrimental to the whole of humanity. Okay, it has made people become inhuman. It has made people become indifferent to other people's struggles. Okay, and then you have those that are running the show that are they just psychopaths. They have the dark triad personality. You see, and they hate it when you profile them, right? They hate it when you profile them because they figure that they got a gun and a badge, and they're in the authority, whether they be in law enforcement, whether it be in the medical industry, or whether it be in the psychological industry, or what have you, psychological institution. They want to be the one to label you and profile you, right? But the minute you start labeling them and profiling them, they don't like it. They don't like it. And what would they do? What do cowards do that don't want to fight fairly, right? What do? They lie, they cheat, they do whatever that they need to do to maintain the lie and to always cheat, to be on top. So like I said, we've got to be very careful who we listen to and who we take advice from. Right? Because these people don't mean us any good.